Namaste. Thank you for joining. So this is today's mindful yoga. Our theme is sprouting. Sprouting. It's happening in the nature. If you like to walk around in the nature or go outside, and then you have a yard looking to see the plants are growing and sprouting a green leaf. So maybe I told you last week was a March 3rd was cherry, no, not cherry, peach blossom season for Japanese people that celebrate. So now peach tree is growing, sprouting the green leaf. So that's happening in the nature. So today I like to kind of introduce about one of the Tibetan Buddhism practice. It is called Tangren practice. So Tangren practice is I taught about how what's happening in the world right now and the wars of Ukraine and Russia is happening. Then I do, and we might be accumulating the tension or what's happening to the world, and is that it's a growing, or not only Russia or Ukraine, but is it going to spread? So there's so many kind of anxious or unknown for the future again, happened to the COVID as well. But yeah, it's still happening. Always there is an issue happen in our life. But anyway, so Tangren practice is a practice of taking in the suffering and difficulty of others, then breathing out the joy or comfort and peace and happiness to others. So you are taking in difficulty of others and exhale to take it out something beautiful or something better for others. So that's quite challenging sometimes, but I thought, we keep accumulating, then we are taking so much, then we need to, project something better. So we're gonna practice that, but just imagine that it's like a tree. Tree is taking the carbon dioxide, then store, then actually produce the oxygen. Then, polluted air they are taking in, then produce the oxygen that we can breathe. So that's why we can live. So just imagine to be like a tree. And it's also we are creating a steady foundation like a tree that growing the roots. Then we are also maybe sprouting a leaf or sprouting or blooming a flower. So something beautiful to happen. So taking in and taking out. So let us close our eyes and be comfortable to sit wherever you are. And then we settle into this moment, the moment of stillness, wherever we came from. Maybe morning was a little bit hectic and rush and busy. Maybe we forgot to breathe, but now we have a time to pay attention to our breath. Let's together inhale through the nose. Then exhale through the nose. And inhale, feel our spine lengthening and top of your head reaching to the sky. And exhale, feel the ground as if we are growing the root underneath and deep down to the earth. And inhale again, feel the space opening in our body. And as if we have a sunroof at the top of our head and opening that the window or door, cultivating the spaciousness. And then exhale, bring our awareness downward and rooting down to the earth. And let's continue our breath. And we'll do a few more rounds like this, connecting to the earth and connecting to the space over the head and the vastness of a space and sky. And keep our breath going. All right, so Tangren practice that we imagine the some people, group of people that you care for, or thinking of the country or place that you think of. Then on our exhalation, we relax and soften with the compassion or kindness. And then inhale and taking the suffering of a people or suffering and difficulty of the country or the people or a particular person. And then exhale, soften, and think of that person or people with compassion. And I inhale the desire to take in or take away that suffering from those people who you think of. And then I exhale the wish to send the comfort and happiness to those who you think of. And we'll continue that. And also Tibetan, this practice, they visualize the black smoke or gray smoke that we breathe in. Then we breathe out white, clear smoke or the air or mist. So whichever is easier for you to practice. You can picture someone, or you might see the picture or visual, the film that you might have seen, the war and Ukrainian people and Russian people. Then we exhale. Just imagine the sprouting the seed of joy. Or you might imagine a being tree and trees. And intake the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and then exhale the oxygen to the people so that the people can live. Let's do this practice for 5 more rounds. And we're going to gradually bringing our palms together to heart center. You might set your intention, prayer for today or for this practice. Then slowly let's open our eyes and let's come to the mat, lie down. Let's lie down and reaching our hands over the head. And let's find the length to our body and pointing our toes and fingers wide. Let's take a big inhale to stretch. And open our mouth, let go. One more time. Take a big inhale, pointing at our toes and fingers wide. Then open our mouth, let go. And let's bring our right knee to the chest. And hug this right knee. And then gradually moving your right knee to the left side. So we're going to twist. So you may spread our arms wide and look to your right hand. And twisting and releasing, especially the lower back. And finding an openness to the chest. So it's an invitation to continue practicing the awareness of, sprouting the seed, taking in the suffering of others, then sprouting the seeds, something good, the goodness for others. Okay, we're gonna switching, coming to center, and hug our left knee to the chest, and bring in the left knee to the right side, and twist and open. So you might spread our left arm out and find the openness to the left shoulder and left chest. Okay, and then let's gradually bring back to center. Okay, then both knee to the chest and gently roll onto the side, or you may, if you're comfortable, roll back and forth. And rolling back and forth to massage your back. And then 3, 2, then 1, come up to tabletop, please, and bring our hands down and knee down. So your palm is under the shoulders. Now let's straight our right leg back. So either you might choose to bring your right toe down or right leg lifted. But if you bring your right toes and ball of the foot down, you might push your heel back and down to stretch the calf and hamstring. So if you like to stretch the back of the leg, please do so. And if you like to do a little bit core work, lift your right leg up. But both way, tuck our navel into lengthening the spine, and especially the lower back area. Not relaxing the belly. We are engaging the core. Okay. And then if you are releasing the legs, the foot down, lift up, and left hand forward to balance. Inhale. And then exhale, bring our knee to the nose, elbows. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bring our knee to the elbow. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knee to the elbow and stretch. Then bring our left palm down, the right foot forward between our hands. Again, if your knee is not so comfortable that way, you can slide something under like a towel. Okay, we're gonna come up. So if you like to keep your hands on your right knee to stabilize your knees, please do. Then gradually shifting our pelvis forward, find the openness to the front of your left hip joint. And if you are comfortable, reaching our hands up. One more breath. And then exhale. Let's bring our hands down, or maybe using the block. So block side by side. And then pull our hips back. So you can have the block or not have the block. And if you like, you might reach our hands back like a flying bird and lifting the front of the toes. So however you like to be, holding the block or hands reach back. Okay, Then shift our weight again down, right foot down, and inhale. Rise up, hands reach up or hands on your knees. And pay attention, your knee is tracking same direction as the toe. So when you have the hands here, you can kind of control that the knee, if it's the knee is wobbling. All right, inhale, looking up. And then exhale, pull our hips back again. Use your block or reaching our hands back. And maybe dorsiflexion, lifting the toes up. Then stretch the back of the leg. One more breath. Okay. Then bring our right foot down to the mat, please, again. Now we're going to look to our left side. Your left toe is going to point to the longer side of the mat and face to the left side. So I am showing my back. Right heel and the left knee aligns. Inhale, hands reach up. You might keep your right knee bent or straight. Then exhale, right hand, right leg, left hand reach over the head. Then if your knee is not so comfortable, bend your knee. And we are lengthening and opening the side of the body. One more breath. And then rise up. So next one, you might use the block on your left hand or without the block. So let me do the with block. So the block is here. And left hand down and right hand reach up. So you might be here or might be lifting your right leg up. So keep your right toe down or right leg lifting. One more breath. And then exhale, maybe bend your right knee and catch your right toe or ankle. Or maybe just bringing your right hand behind you, maybe at your lower back, and find the openness to the chest. So if you are not catching the toe, hand at the back and opening our chest and shoulder. One more breath. Okay, then release. Straight our right leg, plant down to the mat. So now we're gonna face to the front of the mat. Now you might bring your hands down. Then we're gonna step back to downward facing dog or just a tabletop. Tuck our toes under, hips up. Okay, so if your wrist is bothering, you might use the block, palms on the flat, biggest flat side of the block. So whenever I have a wrist pain, I do, or thumb pain. And let's together inhale and open our mouth, exhale. One more breath, inhale. And open our mouth, let go. Then gradually bring your knee down to the mat, the child pose, and putting our hips back. Maybe big toe touch together, open our knees wide. And pull our hips back to lengthen the back of the body. And especially the lower back. Reaching our hands as much as you can. All right. Then we're gonna gradually coming up to tabletop. Okay. So if you have a list, it's not so comfortable, you can do with the block. Then straight our left leg back, please. So either ball of the foot coming to the ground and push your heels back and down to stretch the calf, or maybe lift your leg up. So when you lift your legs up, notice the glute. Notice the glute is engaged. Tucking our navel in. Okay, Cindy, bring your legs a little bit lower. Yes. You see yourself on the screen that it's a kind of a horizontal. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Then If your leg is still down on the ground, lift it, then right hand forward. Inhale. And then exhale, bring our knee to the elbow. And then inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee to the elbow, rounding our back. And using our core. One more breath, inhale. And then exhale, knee to the elbow. And then stretch. And bring our right palm down. The left foot come between your hands. Then coming to Anjaneyasana. First, you might begin with bringing the hands on your left knee, top of the foot. Then stabilize your left knee and align that. Then come into Anjaneyasana, sliding the pelvis forward and opening the front of the right hip. And if you like, reach your hands up or keep your hands down onto your thigh. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, bring our hands to the ground or to the block and pull our hips back and straight our left leg. And then maybe lifting your left toe and find the openness to the back line of the left leg. Or if you like, you might reach our hands back and balance. Okay, then we're gonna do one more time. Plant our foot down and rising up to Anjaneyasana. Maybe hands reach up or maybe hands stay onto your left leg. But purpose here we are doing is to open the front of your right hip joint and a quad front of your thigh and a hip flexor. Then lifting our chest up. So it's a back bending, practicing of back bending. Open front and strong back. Okay, and then exhale, pull our hips back and stretch the back line over the body. Okay, then plant our left foot. Then we're gonna face to the right side of the mat. So your right toe going to point to the left side. Then align my knee and heel the same way. Then gradually straighten your leg or maybe keep your knee bent. Then inhale, hands reach up. And then exhale, bring your left hand, left leg. Yeah, left hand, left leg. Then right hand reach overhead. So finding the rib cage lifts up. And maybe gazing upward. Okay. Then gradually coming out from this pose. So either no block or with block. So bring your right palm down, then left hand to the sky. So you can keep your left toe down, or maybe left leg lift, like a half moon. And maybe staying here, or maybe bending your left knee, catch your left toe with your left hand, kick into our hand. Or if you are not catching a toe, bring your left hand to your lower back, then opening your left shoulder or chest. Are you okay, Riko-san? All right, but don't push yourself too hard. Okay, so let go. Then plant our left foot down. And then we're gonna rise up again. Then we are facing to the front of the mat. Okay, we come back. Hands down. Then left leg back. Downward facing dog. And lift your hips up. Yeah, if you like, you may do plank and chaturanga upward facing dog. But otherwise, just be downward facing dog, connecting with our breath. All right, let's take a big inhale. Then open our mouth, exhale. And one more time, inhale. And open our mouth, let go. All right. So slowly walking towards our hands. Then bending forward. You might bend your knees deeply so your belly can rest on your thigh. Then maybe grab our elbows. Maybe swing side to side. And relax our head. And one more breath. All right, soften our knees, round our back, and slowly we're gonna rise up to standing. Take our time. Okay, so we come to standing position. So feet is a hip distance apart. All right, keep your knees soft. Knee to go same direction when you bend your knees. So let's do breath of joy. Breath of joy is, I think we do every time, but let's do. Inhale, hands forward. Then exhale, hands to the side. Inhale forward. Then exhale, open your mouth, say ha. Drop down. So if you kind of get dizzy, don't drop your head. Continue. So we are letting go the tension. And we are sprouting the seed of joy. A few more times, your own. And letting go the tension. And slowly round our back and rising up to standing. And then feet is a little bit more apart and toes out and swinging our arms wrapping around our body. Yes, this is our favorite as well, or my favorite. And relax your shoulders, relax your arm, and tapping our kidney, lower back. So the kidney location is the lowest part of the rib cage, right and left side. And then you might bring the Kapalabhati force for exhalation here. Exhale to twist. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly come to center. And feel the ground and feel the top of your head to the sky. Okay. All right. So let's stand in front of the mat, feet together. Sun salutation. So we're gonna take our time to move with our breath. So we slow down and pay attention how our body feels in that movement this morning. So every day we have a different body. So we appreciate our body and the air that we breathe and palms together to heart center. Okay, so if you can do a little meditatively, we might move that way. Let's together, big inhale, hands reach out and up, and palms together at the top, and we are gazing up. Then on our exhalation, soften your knees, bend forward, maybe spread our arms wide, open our chest. Inhale, halfway lift, maybe hands come onto your thigh and top of your head moving forward. Then exhale, let's come to the ground, palms down, step back. Either downward facing dog or maybe to tabletop or plank pose. Inhale, lengthening. And then exhale, just stay in a downward facing dog or bend your elbows and belly to the ground. And then inhale, cobra, point your toes, so top of your feet is down. And then open our heart forward. This is a great back bending. And then exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Relax our head. All right. Inhale, looking forward. And exhale, slowly walking towards our hand and feet together. Inhale, halfway lift.
Exhale, bend forward, soften your knees. Inhale, strong leg. Imagine to be a tree, grounding, rooting down. Then hands reach to the sky. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. Okay, continue. Inhale, hands reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive down, bend forward, soften your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, top of your head forward. And exhale, let's do our variation. Plank pose, or knee down, or downward facing dog, or maybe even child pose. And then if your plank pose goes through vinyasa, bending your elbows, then belly down, then coming into cobra, pointing the toes and open forward. And then exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's bringing our actually right leg. So either lift it high or step just between our hands. And we are coming to warrior two, left heel to the ground. Then left hand back and right hand forward. Warrior two. So paying attention, your right knee, right toe goes same direction. So let your hips open. Then relax the hip joint. And then slowly releasing. I'm sorry, I need to sneeze. Okay, so now look to the longer side of the mat. Then pointing the toes out. Okay, so pointing the toes out, then we're gonna gradually lower our hips. So how deep you come is up to you. So making sure your toe is adjusting wherever knee is pointing. So if you are not so comfortable, just be here, opening the legs. And then lower our right shoulder in to look to your left side. So we are kind of twisting the lower back and same time rotating the shoulders so it opens. And then inhale, coming up and maybe stretch your leg to give some break for the quad. Then exhale the other way. Lower left shoulder in. So when you look to the right side, your left knee want to follow, but try not to misalign or bring in the knee too much in. So keeping the knee there. And a heel rising up. Then let's go on to right and left. Maybe a few more round. Then finding an openness to the shoulder. And then maybe creating the movement to release our lower back. And also same time we are strengthening the glute. Then your thighs and then strong leg. And a few more round. Or not a few more round. So when you are done too, then just come to center. Then this time we are pointing the toes to the front, longer side of the mat, so feet is parallel to each other. And then inhale, hands reach forward and out and open our chest. Then exhale, bend your elbows to the back. Then maybe hands come behind you to interlace your fingers. Inhale, pull our hands back and lift our chest. You might stay just here if your knees or hip joint is not very, comfortable today. Otherwise, bend your knees, bend forward, and head down, and maybe knuckles up. Let's see. Yeah, keep your knees bent to protect your knees or lower back. Or you might bring your awareness to your sacrum or tailbone, and maybe tailbone lifted. And bringing our shoulder blade closer, opening our chest. Opening our chest and also the shoulder. One more breath. All right, bend your knees. Then inhale, slowly rising up. Okay, and letting go our hands and spread our hands wide. So now we are pointing the left toe to the back of the mat and coming to warrior two pose. So we already did a right side warrior two. So now we are doing the other side. So make sure to plant your back foot, which is a right foot, down. Your left knee and toe facing each other. Very nice. And feel the openness to the chest as you move your hands out. One more breath. Okay. And then stretch your leg and release our hands. So point your toes again to the front, then right toe, point forward. Then take a big circle of the hands and bring your hands to the ground. Left knee down, right knee down, down, tabletop, or downward facing dog, or plank to chaturanga, upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Do your own. Okay. And then inhale, looking forward. And then exhale, walking towards our hands and feet together. Inhale, halfway left. And then exhale, bend forward and relax your head. Then inhale, rising up, strong leg. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. Inhale, hands reach out and up. Exhale, swan dive down, bend forward, belly to your thigh, bending your knees. Inhale, halfway left, maybe hands onto your thigh. Then exhale, hands to the ground and bring our legs back to downward facing dog or plank to chaturanga, upward facing dog. Moving through. So decide how you want to be. And raise our breath. Okay. Then everybody come to plank pose, or you might bring your knee down. So plank pose, or like a plank but the knee down. Then let's see if we can bend our elbows to the back and gradually bring ourselves to the ground. And belly down. Okay. So now bring our forearm to the ground. So either you might bring your chin down or chin lifted. Then lift your right leg up. So you are pointing the toes and top of your feet is down. So left foot is down, but lifting the right leg straight up, not too high. But we are squeezing the glute to be able to do so. So you can bring your chin down if that makes it easier for you to do a certain move. Then bend your right knee and moving our right foot over the left side. So maybe your belly is off the ground. So a little bit twisting here. Maybe to come all the way to the ground, or maybe not. Then coming back to center. Then release the right leg down. So we're going to do the other side, the left. So your arm is, doesn't matter however your hand is, that's supporting this movement of the lower body. Okay, so now your left leg is going straight up and feel the squeeze of the buttock. Then bend your left knee, then gradually moving your left toe over the right side. I think we did in a total Roman gym this movement sometime. And then come back to center. Then we'll do the right side again. Lift up first, then finding the glute, then bend your right knee, then move the right toe to the other side, the left. So when you come to, this is like a spiraling, opening the front of the thigh and hip flexor. Then come back to center. And last one, left leg up. Then bend your left knee. Then roll over to the right side. And then come to center. Okay, great. And palms under the shoulder, child pose. Press yourself back and pull our hips back, lengthen the lower back. So you might come to that just a child pose. Child pose, your hips are quite close to the heels. But there is a pose called puppy pose. So if you are comfortable lifting the hips up, maybe just be there. All right. Then lifting up to tabletop. So here comes the things, the cushion. So if you have a longer cushion, this is called booster. And bring the booster onto your navel. Actually, navel or, yeah, it's a belly or pelvis. Okay, let me see if I can do with the cushion. So cushion, if it's a too soft or flat, you want to stack two cushions. So just the belly down on your belly. Okay, so now your legs pointing to the back, top of your feet is pressing down. Then maybe forearm is coming to the ground. So we are doing actual back bending, right? And then if this is available to you, press your palm and then lift your chest up a little bit higher. And maybe walking your hands, if this is comfortable, walking your hands towards the cushion or to your belly and see if that's easier for you to lift. I'm just coming to see. So we are doing a back bending. So when we do back bending, when you bring the awareness to the glute, this buttock muscle, it's a little bit easier for our front body to open. Okay. Then gradually, let's lower down and drop your hands by our side. Then relax your shoulder, however, drape your shoulder down. Okay. So let's see if I do this one. All right. Then slowly coming back again. Then bend your right knee. Then bend your left knee. Then do you think you can reach to that foot? So we are having the cushion on your belly and we are doing the Dhanurasana. So maybe your thighs are on the ground. And maybe that the cushion may be helping you to lift. And then kicking into our hand and lifting our chest up. So maybe the cushion is more to supporting the pelvis or, very front of the pelvis. The pelvis bone is right and left. If that is more touching to the cushion, it's helpful to do so. One more breath. And then exhale. Let's release. And then if you can, palms down. And let's try the pose. Maybe head less into the cushion. If that's not so comfortable, just a regular child pose. All right. Then maybe come to downward facing dog from there. Palms down, hips up. Downward facing dog. And let's together take a big inhale. And open our mouth, let go. And one more time, inhale. And open your mouth, let go. And then inhale, looking forward. Now let's walk forward and let's sit down to the mat. Might use the belt here. Paschimottanasana, bend your knees slightly. Inhale, hands reach up. Then exhale, Belly hovers to your thigh and bending forward. We are lengthening the back of the body. So your feet is quite far away. Use the belt to connect it. But if your hand is quite close to the toe, grab the toes. Maybe starting from bending your knees and grab the big toes. Then shift your weight to the one side, right side, so your left sits bone lift. Then as if you are moving that sits bone back, then press it down again. Then do the other side. So creating a space between the hamstring to the sits bone. And bending forward to release the lower back. So always if you find that quite tight on hamstring and lower back, bending your knees is really helpful. And you might stretch your leg, but see your condition, then decide. Okay. Then we're gonna gradually rising up. Okay. So this is just a little experiment for me. So the booster that the yoga studio usually have is quite helpful. So we're gonna lie down onto the booster or the cushion. Okay. So cushion can be quite short to lie down. So I want your hips to be there on the ground. Then there's a cushion, maybe two, stacking each other to lie down. But if it doesn't have too much, then I like to have something more firm, or you might have one cushion rolled in a halfway, roll or fold it in halfway. Then your lumbar spine is supported by the cushion. I am pretty short, so I'm totally comfortable being just one cushion, but you might be not. So two cushion maybe help. So what we are happening here, what we are doing is to back bending, opening our chest like a fish pose. So legs down, your buttock is down, but your lower back has a no space supported by the cushion. So I highly recommend you to hold it in a half so that it's more kind of not very soft or flat. So have a nice support to the lower back. Then if your head is hanging there, you want to have another cushion there. Then spread our arms wide. Then feel the openness to the front of the body. Let's see. Okay. So next step. So having that cushion at your back, bring your feet down to the mat. Then plant your feet hip distance apart, so it's like a bridge pose. Then hands by your side. Then gradually, so your shoulder is still there on the ground, but you are lifting your pelvis upward. So your shoulder is still onto the cushion, but lifting the hips up. And hands by your side or palm facing down on the ground. Then squeezing our glute and lifting. And one more breath. And then exhale, slowly lower down and the hips come down. Then let's roll onto one side. Then let go that the cushion. Then roll back onto the ground. Then knees other side. Then wind wipes your knees right and left. Then gradually hugging our knee to the chest. Then gently move your knees to the circular motion and massage our glute. Then the other way. So when you make a small circle, you are more focusing on to massage the sacrum. Then when you make a big circle, more massaging to the outer hip. So do what you need, or just experiment how you feel. And then gradually coming back to center, and we're gonna use the belt. So belt is the big group to hammock pose. So your right foot and the head to begin. But today we did a lot of back bending. So make sure to release the lower back before going even to this hammock pose. So if you still need some release in the lower back, still roll side to side a few times and get onto hammock pose. And connecting the head and to the foot. And shoulder release and finding a space to your neck. Yeah, I think your placement of the foot is good. The ball of the foot. And relax into this pose. You might remember in the Tangram practice, taking in the suffering and difficulty of others and breathe out with comfort and joy for others. Maybe helping hands and support. You might imagine of the smoke, black smoke to inhale, and then exhaling out white smoke or clear smoke. Tongue practice is actually can be challenging to practice when you need support for yourself, when you don't have a space for others. That is why we continue our practice of cultivating a steady foundation. When we don't have a steady foundation or our foundation is quite wobbly or shaky, always mindful breath or mindful breathing is very helpful. We can always come back to our breath and finding our body and finding the loving kindness towards ourselves so that we can taking in the difficulty of others and producing or helping others with comfort and joy. And gradually we're gonna release only head and make sure shoulder head come to the ground nicely. And open our right leg outward. Well, we had quite a long time did that. And open the inner leg. There might be bending your right knee to bring the right knee cross over to the left side. So left hand holding the belt is easier to do so. Twist. And bring your knee to the left side. Then right hand spread out. Maybe like this, or bending your left knee and catch your left toe with your right hand and a little bit deeper twist. Then gradually releasing. And the other way. Left foot and head hammock pose. And relax into this. And shoulder away from your ear to lengthen the back of the neck. And soften your head and relax your face. Relaxing our face. Letting go of the tension. It's a nice balance with the gravity, then reaching our leg or the head floating in the space. Then we're gonna gradually shifting to release head down to the mat and find the length to the spine and shoulder are comfortably resting there. Head is comfortably resting. And then let's open our left leg out and stretch the inner leg. Then bring our left leg to the right side and twist. Open the outer leg. And if you like, bend your right knee, get your right toe with your left hand. And twisting. And when you are done, let's release to Shavasana, let go the block. Let go the belt. And lie down. And let's soften everywhere. Letting go. Maybe you can make a ha sound again. And let the tension away. We settle in the moment and the space here and now. I want to share. It's written by my yoga teacher, Jennifer Prug, that the Breathe Together, that she was writing this, and I thought it's quite nice to kind of our connecting to the Tangrim practice. Do you think peace requires an end to the war? Does peace requires an absence from your boss, your spouse, and yourself? Do you think peace will come to some other place than here? Some other times than now? In some other heart than yours? Peace is this moment without judgment. That is all. This moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Peace is this moment without thinking that it should be some other way, that you should feel some other thing, that your life should unfold according to your plans. Peace is this moment without judgment, this moment in the heart space where everything that is welcome. Let's gradually bring in our awareness to our fingers and toes, inviting some movement. And bring our hands over the head. Let us stretch from toes to fingertips. Let's take a big inhale, stretch. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Open our mouth, exhale. Bring our knee to the chest, give a nice hug to ourselves. Thanks to our body, mind, and heart, whatever we have today. And we welcome everything. We practice to create a space to welcome anything that happens. But still, it's up to us to bring a peace in our mind and our heart. And roll on to one side and come to a comfortable seat. And together we inhale, hands reach to the sky. And exhale, bring our palms together to heart center. May all beings be happy and free. May the thought, words, action of our own life may contribute in some ways to that happiness and freedom for everyone. Thank you very much for letting me guide through your practice, sharing your time together. Namaste. Thank you.